only the most popular creators have a shot at winning this thing, and that's because they'll get the highest marks in engagement, period. Hi everyone, welcome back to Muffin Matter. If you're new here, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. My name is TT, and let's get right into this. So I've done a couple of the Webtoon short story contests, which you can go see. I've done Webtoon short story contest, is it rigged? Webtoon short story contest, consequences. So I have those out now. They're also in a playlist if you want to go look at them. I'll probably put them in a card on top of the screen. But I realized from making these that there were actually a lot of misconceptions floating around about the contest, some that even I had held. So I just want to like make things clear, make things sure, so that you know what you're getting into, or that you're not holding a thought that might actually be incorrect or inaccurate. Okay, so the first thing, the one misconception that I see quite a few times is that you can't enter if you don't live in the US. Someone actually asked me this in one of my video comments, and that is completely wrong. You can definitely enter if you don't live inside the US. You can enter from anywhere as long as your country doesn't have like any restrictions for that kind of thing. But as far as I know, like you can enter even if you don't live in America. The next one is that you feel like you're too young, which is wrong, which is completely wrong. You're not too young, unless you feel like you're not ready to do that kind of thing, which is a completely different other thing. But there's no age restriction per se. You just have to be 13. You have to be 13 to do it, and if you're under the age of 18, you have to get your parents' consent for that. But which should be a given thing. If you're under the age of 13, get your parents' consent before you enter into this contest thing. But I'm sure they'll be fine with it, and yeah, so that's basically it. You can enter if you're over the age of 13. Just get your parents' consent. The next thing is that you have to have completed your story by April 30th. I saw this in quite a few of Webtoon had like a promotional video out for this thing, and some people were like, oh my gosh, I'm already late, I don't know what to do, I'm already way behind, I haven't even like done any of this. And you don't have to have your story done by April 30th. Today is now the 22nd of May, so like nearly a month has passed after like the entry started. The first day of the entry has started, maybe about 3 weeks. So no, that was just the first day of the entry. You don't have to have your story done by then. You have until June 30th. So as of today, a little bit over a month. You have maybe like 5 weeks left of this of the competition left for you to like submit. That's your time limit. And you don't have to update your story all in one go either. Like I don't think you have to have all your ducks lined up. You don't have to have had like everything done, ready to like go all in one go. You don't have to do that, and you don't have to submit all in one go either. You don't have to submit one after the other. Like as long as it's within the time frame of the April 30th to June 30th, you're completely fine. So yeah, like I said, you don't need to submit all at once. It just has to be in competition time frame. Even though you haven't finished by April 30th, or you haven't even finished by now May 22nd, you should maybe have a grasp on what you're going to do, because your story, it needs like a definitive beginning, middle, and end. It can't just be like a setting off for a story. So you should have planned what you're going to do somewhat. You should have like an idea, but yeah, don't pressure yourselves in that kind of way. I'm not sure how beneficial it would be for you to submit earlier rather than later either. I was going to say maybe if you submitted earlier, then like it will show up earlier in the filter, because there's a filter for dates. There's like I said in I think my Webtoon is the Webtoon contest rigged one. I think that I said that the filters, I have a problem with the filters, but the filters are basically done in terms of popularity, likes, and dates. So at first I thought, okay, if you submit earlier rather than later, maybe your Webtoon will show up as one of the first ones up on that filter, but that's not true. I tried it out today. The filter only works for like recently updated. So today's the 22nd. If you click the filter, you're going to see Webtoons that have been recently updated today. So that's how it would do. Like the last chapter updated was done on the 22nd, and that's how it's kind of that's how that filter works. Okay, so the next one is that you want to enter the competition as a team, but you're not too sure. I say do it if you want. It's completely allowed. I've seen people in my comments saying that, tell me that they're participating as a team. I've seen people in the Webtoon promotional thing saying, yeah, they're participating as a team, which is so cool. I think you can definitely do it if you want to do it. I think that's really cool if you want to like do it with a friend or anything. And it goes for people who like have a good idea but maybe don't really know how to like draw, or vice versa goes for people who like can draw but don't have the idea there just yet. I think if you want to, you can join forces. The only thing I would say is that if you do win, the money will be sent to the money will be sent to the person representing your team, and then you guys can just split it from there. But that's how Webtoon is going to allocate it. They're going to send the money to the person who is representing it. So yeah, so from there I guess you guys will just like split the money, and yeah. So the next thing is that you have a few good ideas but you can only make one story, which is wrong. You can make as many submissions as you like in both categories, not just the same story. It just doesn't have to be the same story, but you can submit in the brain category, you can submit in the heart category, you can submit in both categories if you want. Like if you wanted to submit 100 different stories, you honestly could. I obviously don't know the logistics of like saying, yeah, I want to make multiple stories. I don't know how intensive that would be and how draining that would be. But I do think that if you wanted to, you can. Maybe that would increase your chances. I don't think it would make you be picked twice. Like, I don't think it's possible. I don't think they would allow someone to be picked twice, although they didn't really say that, but maybe it was more deeper into the rules. But I don't think they'd allow someone to be picked twice. Like, let's say you get picked for like second place and then another one of your stories also got picked for like third place. I don't think that would happen, but I think that maybe it can like increase your chances of you getting picked. Maybe, not sure. Just going to tell you that you can include as many stories as you want. Obviously it's probably difficult doing just the one story, but yeah. Next thing is that you won't be able to find the distinct brain and heart categories. This you can take either way. I still maintain it would benefit, like the filters would benefit from like a brain and heart filter, so you can sort of see the different submissions that kind of way. But someone actually pointed out to me that you can search on, the normal Webtoon search thingy. You can search the bracket B or the bracket H for like brain and heart, and then you find them. And I actually tried that thing out and it really works. So if you want to do that, it can work. The only thing that I have a problem with is that it sort of feeds into the whole, like, I have a problem, like I said in my, I think I said it in my consequences one, the consequences one or the brain and heart one. I'll put the card up, I'll put the link. That I have a problem with the Webtoon scrolling function, not just because I like it, but I do think because of the sheer amount of like submissions, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing Webtoon can do about it, but it's like it just makes it like an endless scroll, so it's just harder to find things. So I think just searching brain and hearts would be even be worse, just because it's like in a single column that way. So there's only one column and you have to be scrolling, as opposed to like the 3 columns that are there in like the normal like short story section of like Webtoon. So yeah, but you can try it, you can do it. That's a way if you want to try that out. So yeah, the next one is that only the most popular creators have a shot at winning this thing, and that's because they'll get the highest marks in engagement, which is wrong. It's wrong. So let me just break it down. Okay, if you didn't know, Webtoon is allocating 40% for narrative category specific attributes, 30% for like pacing, readability, clarity, and then another 30% for like audience engagement. So just to break that down very quickly. So audience engagement, and I took this straight from the frequently asked questions section of Webtoon, straight from it. Audience engagement is measured by a combination of numbers of views, likes, and comments. While popularity is a factor, the level of engagement is a weighted measurement and ratio for a normalized review. We also will be taking into consideration content of comments and will not tolerate harassment and abuse. Okay, so I actually have thought about this for a while. When I first saw that, audience engagement was going to be a thing that was going to be marked, I was like, okay, well, how is that going to work? Doesn't it mean that most popular people are going to get like the highest scores in that? But then I thought, okay, here's what I think. While what I just said is a bit vague. They don't really say, well, maybe they do say it and I'm too dumb to like understand it. But what I think would happen is like it's going to go as a case by case sort of basis, not like, oh, let me compare the different webtoons against each other. I think it's going to go by a case by case basis, in the sense that, okay, they're going to, let's say webtoon A has like 100 likes and like 90 comments or something like that. I think they'll take it in a case by case basis, like, okay, that's a pretty good ratio for webtoon A. Like if 100 people liked and 90 people commented or something like that, that's a pretty good ratio, as opposed to something that says, okay, webtoon B has like 900 likes but only like let's say 200 people commented, only like that. So it depends. I think that's what they mean by that, but I'm not so sure, so take that with a grain of salt. Take it how you like it. They did say popularity is going to be a factor, but I don't think it's going to be the only thing that's going to be a factor. From what I've heard, from the last webtoon contest, which I've not been able to find. I've been trying to find like the last winners, but like I haven't been able to find them, which is really, really strange. I don't know. Tell me if you've seen the winners from the last one, because for some reason I can't find them. But tell me if from what I've heard, the people who weren't like the most popular ones have won before. So yeah. And also just remember that it's not the only thing that's getting marked. Like I said, there's 30% for, you know, the reading clarity, readability clarity, and pacing. There's a 40% for narrative, contributory, specific things as well. So engagement is not the only thing, number one. And engagements, while popularity does stem to a factor, they're going to like use like a ratio of things. So yeah. Lastly, you got self-doubt and don't believe in yourself and you're not good enough. Cool. So this happens. It does happen. I get that kind of feeling as well. But I do say that you should just try. If you want to do it, you should try it. You shouldn't let self-doubt sort of like creep in and be like, no, I'm not too talented for this. No, I'm a miss this one. No, do it. Just do it. Just literally just do it. Honestly, if only for like the experience, if only for like the exposure, if only to like learn a few things and to know how you're going to do this thing, like just completely do it. I think it'll work out. It'll work out in the end, even if you don't win. And like I said in my consequences, like only 20 people are going to win. Only 20 out of like Lord knows how many submissions in there. So like it's already like a really low chance as opposed to other things. But yeah, if only for the experience of it all, and if only to say, okay, I did that, let me just check that off my list of things that I've done. You might as well do it if you can and if you want to. So yeah, that kind of wraps up my video. Make sure to tell me what you feel about all of this. If you've also saw some other misconceptions, let me know what you're feeling about all of this. Maybe if you're a creator, tell me how you're feeling about all of this as well. If you have a webtoon out in this submission, this short story contest out, I would like to know so I can read it. And also if other people in comment see it, maybe they can check it out too. Tell me if you're a reader, if you found any gems. Sorry it's been a hot minute since I've like uploaded. Like it's been a while. It's been a while. I've had exams because yeah, even in the midst of all of this, my uni was still like, yeah, you're going to do these exams. So I did those exams and I literally just finished like this morning. So that was my last exam. So I'm done. So yeah, subscribe, like, comment, tell me anything you want to tell me, and yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.